Welcome back to the Road Show this morning in the Buzz. It is Earth Day. We've been talking all morning about living green, but if you're the type of person who's been a little slow to get into the movement, yeah? All right. Think about this.
Guilty.
Going green often leads to saving green, for example. And Courtney actually was talking about this a little earlier. We'll talk to her in a moment. But switching from oil to natural gas heat will end up saving you an estimated $500 annually, depending on your house size. If you improve your attic's insulation and air sealing, you can save about $400 a year. And if you buy a more efficient hot water heater, you could save about $200 a year. And as a matter of fact, right now, I think Massachusetts is giving out rebates or vouchers or incentives for people to switch over to better appliances. But of course, not everyone is in the market for a big home improvement project. But if you just replace all of your home's light bulbs with compact fluorescent lights, CFLs, you could save hundreds of dollars a year. One thing that I would like to see happen in my parents' home is if my brothers expended a little less methane gas. I think that would green up the environment.
It's a different kind of going green?
Different, yeah. So we don't break down the ozone layer. But I've done the CFLs. What about you guys?
Yeah, we switched to some of the fluorescent bulbs a couple of years ago. I stopped buying bottled water. I just use a Brita, and I have all that less plastic that I'm throwing out and saving a little money because of that too. So that's one of the changes I made.
We're working on the light bulb change. I'm sure my wife's more on top of this than I am. But the whole recycling thing, I've got to admit, I mean, we do it now.
Yeah.
But I know some people that I'm related to, who I won't mention on TV, that still don't do it because it's just not what they did for a long, long time. It's still foreign to them. It's not a routine practice to them. But I'm working on it. I'm working on them.
I think it's funny too because this is one of the areas of the country that I've lived in that has been a little bit. You know, you do find people who are throwing out a plastic bottle or throwing things out, and I think, well, you know, now that I've lived in other communities where it is so prolific, it's almost like, ooh. You know, it's like trying to drive without your seatbelt on. It's like something doesn't feel right here.
I mentioned before on the show that one of the things I just couldn't do was using the cloth diapers. I mean, the amount of waste that my 1-year-old son produces with diapers and everything right now, I mean, I'm just leaving a big footprint right now, and it will probably be for the next few years.
But that is a very difficult one. That's one that, you know, you're kind of slow to incorporate. But, you know, one of the things that I find funny is the way that a lot of celebrities say that they go green and then they hop on a private jet,
right? Yeah.
Or, you know, they say, oh, I've switched to whatever, and then they go off in their Hummers and their SUVs and that sort of thing. So I think that's a little funny.
It's tough to make it once you get. It's like any routine, like working out or anything like that. But once you get into that pattern and that practice of doing something constantly that's, you know, essentially good for everybody, then you do it more. It's an easier time doing it, and that's sort of what our family is striving toward.
And like you're saying, you know, when you do it, there is a payoff. I know that my husband and I, we hop on our bikes once a week during the spring and summer season. We go to the farmer's market. So you're putting money into the local economy. You're not using your car. You're getting the workout. So there are lots of things there are lots of payoffs that doesn't just come in saving money. But I do want to throw it over to Courtney, though, because I know, Courtney, you have noticed in your bottom line how this has helped.
Yeah, you know, my husband didn't believe me, thought I was just getting on him, you know, to like unplug stuff.
Foolish man.
I know, right? I'm like, of course I know what I'm talking about. You know, we unplug coffee pots and toaster ovens. Make sure you pull all the cell phone chargers out if you're not charging your cell phone, because that uses up energy the most. I did see that on Oprah, so that's not really coming from me. But our bloggers are doing some things today to celebrate 40 years of Earth Day, so let's take a peek at that on foxprovidence.com. And this one's from Smoky Wolves, and she's going to do some composting today later on in her garden, maybe plant some bushes around the yard. And Chris Claude here is one of our interns. I didn't believe him, but he said he took a shorter shower. That's hard to get out. He usually takes a 10-minute one, but took one a little less. He says his roommate is always yelling at him to conserve water. So today was a good day to start that, getting in a habit. We have our poll here right underneath the live blog. How will you celebrate Earth Day? A, by using less water. B, by reducing my electricity use. C, by reducing, reusing, and recycling. D, by carpooling, walking, or biking. or E, attend a local Earth Day event, which some of our friends on Facebook are actually doing, and we've heard from quite a few of you this morning. Joseph Butera says he's going to take the girls to the park. They're going to bring some bags and pick up any debris along the way to the park, and he says every little bit helps on this Earth Day. And Lauren Silva says after school she's also going to clean up the park with the kids. So lots of you are getting out there. Hope the weather holds out. It should be a good day for everyone helping out on this Earth Day. But we'll see what you all said in the poll in about 30 minutes. So for now, back to the kitchen. Patrick, what's grilling in there?